News Radio, I'm Lisa Taylor. President Biden is formally announcing the retirement of Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer.
Stephen Breyer's public service started early. He served in the United States Army as a teenager and in all three branches of the federal government before he turned 40. They were the good old days.
The liberal justice is stepping down after nearly 3 decades on the High Court. Breyer plans to retire at the end of the Supreme Court's current term in late June or July. Stocks are bouncing back today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose by more than 500 points in early trading, while the NASDAQ and S&P 500 were higher as well. This after the Federal Reserve signaled yesterday it will likely raise interest rates in March. The Secretary of Commerce says the U.S. is the only economy in the world that's stronger now than before the pandemic. Gina Raimondo noted the nation's economy is seeing its best growth in nearly 40 years.
It's really important that we take a second to realize that this is great news.
Her comments came after it was announced the country's fourth quarter GDP increased by 6.9% compared to last year. Raimondo said issues stemming from the pandemic, such as supply chain problems, still have consumers feeling uneasy despite the positive news. She believes the passage of President Biden's Build Back Better legislation and the administration's plans for infrastructure improvement would help ease those worries. Healthcare should be a right, not a privilege. That's according to President Biden, who noted 14.5 million Americans have signed up for healthcare since November 1st. The legal issues for a well-known South Carolina attorney keep adding up. Scott Kimbler has more.
The victims of a 2019 boat crash are filing $65 million in wrongful death and personal injury claims against the estates of Paul Murdaugh and his mother, Maggie Murdaugh. The family of 19-year-old Mallory Beach filed claims of $25 million against each estate for her death, and 2 survivors of the crash filed claims totaling $15 million. Maggie and Paul were both found dead by attorney Alex Murdaugh in Colleton County in June. He is now facing several indictments alleging several levels of fraud.
I'm Lisa Taylor. A second civil lawsuit is being filed in connection with the Oxford High School shooting late last year. The parents of Tate Meir are suing alleged shooter Ethan Crumbley, his parents James and Jennifer Crumbley, and 6 people employed by the school district. Dean of Students Nicholas Ejak, counselors Pam Fine and Sean Hopkins, and 3 unnamed teachers are also being sued. Meir was one of 4 students killed in the shooting, while another 7 were wounded. A new survey suggests Hawaii has some of the fewest internet trolls in the U.S., or at least the fewest people willing to admit it. Michael Kastner reports.
The survey conducted by Redact asked Americans to confess to messing with people online. Hawaii, Delaware, and Connecticut have the least amount of self-admitted trolls, while Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Kansas have the most. 73% of Americans surveyed said they'd report someone for being an internet menace. About half believe trolling should be a federal crime. I'm Michael Kastner.
Today, NASA pauses to remember the lives lost in pursuit of the exploration of space. Rory O'Neill has more.
Today marks the anniversary of the launch pad fire that killed the crew of Apollo 1 in 1967. Friday is the anniversary of the 1986 Challenger disaster.
Engines throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%. Challenger, go with throttle up. Challenger, go with throttle up.
Tuesday marks 19 years since Space Shuttle Columbia broke apart during its re-entry. Other explorers who died during training flights are also being remembered in events at NASA centers nationwide. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Elon Musk is prioritizing a Tesla robot over new car models. Musk announced yesterday that Tesla has no plans to launch the highly anticipated Cybertruck this year. The company will instead focus on a human-like robot that could revolutionize the economy. Although the Tesla bot may never come to fruition, the company introduced the idea with a human in a robot suit last August, and Musk warned it probably wouldn't work in real life. Lisa Taylor, NBC News Radio.